Welcome back to Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine for the second half of a GNCBL Sunday doubleheader. The first one we just watched was an interesting game, a 5-5 tight one between the Patriots and Nor'easters turned into a 16-5 mercy rule clobbering within 2 innings. It ended after just 6, when 7 is the regulation length. Now, those dominant Patriots will face off against the Norsemen, who have come for the second leg. Their starting pitcher is Regan Thomas, making his season debut on the mound, and the defense around him is Kevin Connolly at first, Hayden Dipner at second, Davis Cody at short, Kyle Dewin at third. In the outfield from left to right, Ben Seguin, Anthony Poole, and David Jurowitz, and Liam Coolidge doing the catching for Thomas. A sophomore heading to the transfer portal after a year at Eastern Nazarene, where he had no action. Originally from Standish, he's a Bonnie Eagle graduate. And he will be taking on this Patriots lineup. I'm Charlie Fellows. As always, I'll be bringing you the action. This lineup he's facing off against for the Patriots, very similar to the last game. The top 3 is the same of Economy, Toon, and Keeley. Those 3 tore the cover off the ball, hit 5 doubles between the 2 of them for an absolutely astounding amount of total bases. I don't have the exact number on me at the moment, but it was upwards of 20. Joe Strabley hitting 4th, Quest Newhall, Sam Gablinski, Noah Shaw, Braden Watson, and Dante Tochi round out that lineup. First up will be Economy. And what a game he just had. Went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a walk. He accounted for 3 of his team's eventual 16 runs. Starts him off with a strike, does Thomas, and we are underway. Economy, a junior from Penn West Clarion, hits that one hard out to center field. Anthony Poole gets under it, and for the first time all day, Sam Economy is out. Perhaps a sign of the changing tides. The Norsemen may have a shot after all. Harrison Toon comes up now. He had himself a great day as well. He changed the tide of the game with a 3-run double in the 5th inning that gave the Patriots a lead they would not relinquish. Takes that low for ball 1. Toon, a junior at Bryan and Stratton, originally from Brookfield, Wisconsin. He's hitting 267. He has 13 RBIs, which is second in the GNCBL, 3 of them from the previous game. 1-1 from Thomas. One out in the top of the first. And did that clip him? Nope. Hit the ground before. 2-1. Outside 3-1. The Patriots move to 5-4-2, second place in the GNCBL. The Norsemen come in 3-6-1 in last, and that one did clip him. Toon hopping on one leg a bit. He seems okay, though. Heading down to first. For Ike Keeley, the 3rd member of the hard-hitting trio from the last game, a senior at Babson, hitting .323. He's driven in 8 runs, at least. I don't recall exactly how many he drove in the first game. Broke a tie for 3rd in the GNCBL with that mark. He is 4th in the GNCBL in slugging, .516. One of the fantastic trio of bats in Tim Downing's lineup. Strike one delivered by Thomas, the midseason addition to this Norsemen squad. Nearly said midseason trade acquisition. That's not exactly true. That's through the hole into right field for a base hit. Toon will hold up at second base, and it's a good thing he did, as that throw sailed right to third. He would have been thrown out for sure. Keeley aboard with the first hit of the game. And if last game's Patriots were any indication, it will be far from the last. 2 on, 1 out for Joe Strabley. In a poetic twist, Strabley was 0 for 4, but he hit a 2-run double that put the Patriots over the mercy threshold. Scored their 15th and 16th runs. If any team ever has a 10-run lead at any point past the 5th inning in a GNCBL game, the game will immediately end right then and there. Especially useful rule for doubleheaders like this one getting started nearly 2 hours behind schedule. Into right, giving chase was Connolly, but into the metal bleachers. 0-2. Six-foot right-hander deals. Grounded to third. Shaw Fields throws on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time for the double play. But the second out is recorded. Keeley thrown out at second base. Toon down to third. Strabley aboard on the fielder's choice. And that brings up Quest Newhall, who had another excellent game in his own right. Went 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a walk, and a fielder's choice of his own. The Patriots were just firing on all cylinders. Keeley heading into his freshman year, Newhall heading into his freshman year at Bryant after a year at Bridgeton Academy. Thomas, low. Runners on the corners with 2 out. Inside, diving stop by the catcher Liam Coolidge. 2-0. Newhall played his club ball at Southern Maine Supernova, as well as with the Maine Lightning, and the coach of the latter has nothing but praise to say about him. He's a tremendous asset, pleasure to coach, a good clubhouse guy. Not to say that all of the players on both sides aren't good clubhouse guys, of course, but having that on you, said about you, written about you, by a coach of a prestigious team like Lightning, not something many players can say. 2-1. Outside. The Patriots scored 1 run in the first inning. They didn't really get rolling until later in the last game. Now they're the away team. The Norsemen at home. 3-1. Fouled back. Regan Thomas's payoff pitch to get out of the inning. Runner goes. Low, ball 4. That will load the bases with 2 outs. Strabley down to second. Toon remains at third. Sam Kablinski will bat with a chance to break this game open before the Norsemen even have a chance to respond. Kablinski is a sophomore at St. Joseph's after transferring from SMCC his freshman year. Hits that high and deep to right. Arcing foul. Giving chase was David Jurowitz, but no play to be made. Kablinski, originally from Ellsworth, graduated from Mount Desert Island High School. Helped lead the SMCC Seawolves to the YSCC Championship, taking a strike 2 low. Had 3 hits, batted in a run in that championship win. Excuse me. Batted .270, batted in 34 runs, and stole 10 bases overall last season. 0-2. Popped him up into foul territory, giving chase and making the grab is Kevin Connolly to end the inning. Regan Thomas leaves him loaded in the top of the first. The Norsemen will bat when we come back. We head to the bottom of the first in Sanford with the man on the mound for the Patriots, Nick Griffin. They used their ace in the first game, TJ Dimitru, and he pitched well. Gave up 5 runs, but got the win. Their second man in their rotation is no slouch in his own right, Nick Griffin, a junior at Castleton out of Thornton Academy. He's pitched well in the few starts he's gotten this year. And he's got a defense around him of Sam Kablinski at first, Dante Chochi at second, Harrison Toon at short, Noah Shaw at third. In the outfield from left to right, Quest Newhall, Sam Economy, Braden Watson, and Ike Keeley, as always, behind the plate doing the catching. They will be facing a Norseman lineup from skipper Matt Rogers of Kyle Dewan, Anthony Poole, Riley Hassan, Chris Chimino, Ben Seguin, Liam Coolidge, Hayden Dipner, David Jurowitz, Kevin Connolly, and Davis Cody. Jack Cody, excuse me. First man up, Kyle Dewan. His brother Cam is off today. And Dewan is at third. It's a sophomore at USM from Augusta, went to Coney High School. Takes the first pitch outside. Most well known for hitting a walk-off home run against these very Patriots in a 9-inning thriller at Old Orchard Beach a few weeks ago. Hits that one sharply at the shortstop Toon, who can't field it cleanly, for a leadoff single. 1 pitch, 1 base runner. Norsemen trying to get off to a hot start to cool the Patriots' bats. They only had 1 scoreless frame the entirety of last game. They've already equaled that total so far. Now Anthony Poole fouls it back. Junior USM from South Portland. One of the very premier fielding center fielders in the league. He's out in center today. Also a great hitter, .242 with 7 RBIs, which is tied for 5th in the league. Cutting a miss for strike 2. As a sophomore with the Huskies, he hit .308, batted in 7 runs. He's already equaled that total in GNCBL play. Both teams batting their best 3 hitters 1, 2, 3 here, with Dewan, Poole, and Hassan, who we will see next on the Norseman side. Outside, Keeley makes a stop, and Dewan ran, and he is out. Heads up play by Ike Keeley, the premier defensive catcher in the GNCBL. Kyle Dewan forgot about it, and he paid for it. The second man he has gunned down today between the 2 games. So now an empty base path with 1 out for Poole, who skies that foul. 1-2. Fights another one off. That one's onto the road. Luckily, no passing motorists in the line of fire. 1-2 again. Takes outside, thought about it. Keeley is one of just a handful of players playing in their second GNCBL season. Grounded up the middle. Running on Toon over to first for the second out. Toon to Kablinski connection. Now 2 down for Hassan. Riley Hassan, a senior out of Johnson and Wales, also from South Portland, batting behind his former Red Riots teammate. He's hitting .357, slugging .429. Wearing a nice alternate jersey today. I like the yellow flourish on the back. Not sure where he found that, but I'd endorse the switch. 1-0. Big cut. Hassan at Johnson and Wales after 3 seasons at St. Anselm. The third of which he hit .430 with 6 home runs, batted in 64 more. Terrifying hitter in college ball, and no less so against the likes of the Greater Northeast Collegiate Baseball League. Griffin's 1-2. Low. Excellent take by Hassan with Chris Cimino on deck. Foul back. Might have found its way into the press box had it not been for the conveniently placed net. Griffin. Chop to second. Tochi fields it. On to Kablinski for the third out. Kyle Doohan reaches base, and he's picked off. The rest of the Patriots go in order. Or the Norsemen, go in order. We head to the second inning, a scoreless tie in Sanford. Top of the second, coming right up. Regan Thomas back on the mound, looking for a smoother half inning than the last one was. Leaving the bases loaded with 2 outs will certainly suffice, but he certainly does not want to keep playing with fire, especially against a lineup we have already seen can inflict so much damage against the likes of the league-leading Nor'easters. If you haven't watched that one, go watch it, because it will make you appreciate the power in these bats. One man that was not a part of that rally was Noah Shaw. He did not play in the first game. A freshman, rising freshman at Thomas, graduated from Massabesic in the spring. He's from Lyman. Going to Thomas College, majoring in sport management, as he foul tips that into the dirt. Starting at third base today for the Patriots. 1-2. In for strike 3. First K of the day for Thomas. To bring up another one, the second man in this lineup who sat out the extra base hit party in the first half of today. Braden Watson looks at strike 1. Sophomore at the City College of New York. He's a Cheverus High School graduate 1 year ago. Thomas, quick 0-2. He has found his groove now, it seems. And that's in for strike 3. Watson, the second straight man Caught looking at his own demise. Perhaps just not warmed up like his teammates are. In any event, Dante Tochi was a part of that. He's a sophomore at SMCC. Portland High School graduate. Takes ball one way outside. As a freshman with the Seawolves, played in 9 games, hit .429, batted in 2 runs. Split time between catcher and second base, where he is today. That's inside for ball 2. Thomas just finds that outside corner. Regan Thomas, normally a first baseman for this team, starting on the mound in the absence of staff ace Lucas Francis, long reliever Andrew Keniston. 2-2. Chopped on the ground to third. Dewan fields it. Over to first for the third out. Nice 1-2-3 inning. Just what Regan Thomas and the Norsemen wanted. 3 half innings gone. No runs scored here at Goodall. Chris Chimino, Ben Seguin, and Liam Coolidge due up here in the bottom of the second. Nick Griffin back. Starting off the former of those 3 with a strike. Chris Chimino, a senior at Bates, a native of my hometown, Scarborough, Maine. Skies that out to left, going back and making the grab in foul territory. A wonderful athletic play by Noah Shaw. Happened just out of frame, so you couldn't see it, but he ran on it, had to pull up at the last minute, and made the catch behind his head to retire Chimino. Ben Seguin now in left today. Another Scarborough native. Now a sophomore at St. Joseph's, majoring in business and sport management. 1-0, fouled back. Seguin had 4 at-bats with the Monks as a freshman, no hits, 2 strikeouts. He's been much better this year in the GNCBL, an everyday player for the Norsemen, who despite their 3-6-1 record, are nearly always competitive. You rarely ever see them get blown out. At this point in the season, you could tell me the standings will finish any number of ways, and I would believe you. Seguin draws ball 4. First walk of the game for Griffin. As it stands right now, the Nor'easters, despite being on the wrong end of a 16-5 loss in the first half of this doubleheader, are in first place. These Patriots are in second. The Windjammers, who are in action down in Portsmouth today, are in third. They're playing a doubleheader against the Lightning, who are 3-2 but have not played enough games to qualify for the standings yet. And these Norsemen, 3-6-1, that record is good for 4th. But they could move up to 3rd with a win and a pair of Windjammer losses today. We'll see what the results are down at Leary. Big cut and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Liam Coolidge. Griffin gets his first K. That will bring up Hayden Dipner, freshman at USM, out of Mount Blue High School up in Farmington. Batting with 2 down, a man on first. Griffin having no trouble dotting the corners so far. That curveball is formidable. When he is on, he is extremely difficult to hit. chopped to short and through the glove of Toon. Rounding second and into third is Ben Seguin. Toon tried to make a running play and couldn't. So Dipner's aboard. Runners on the corners now. The Norsemen with a chance to strike first. David Jurowitz is one of the most terrifying hitters in this lineup, just hiding down there in the 8th spot. He can make it happen. A sophomore at St. Joseph's. He's hitting .375. That average is 4th in the league. Batted in 2 runs, got an .861 OPS. He's a Sudbury, Massachusetts native, coming off a season with the JV team, and that's just foul down the left field line. Played JV with the Monks. No stats available. Lefty batter stands at 6'2". Nick Griffin trying to get out of this. Keeley throws down to third, and nearly in time, Seguin had to dive back and just barely avoided coming off the bag there. You can never take too big a lead with Keeley behind the plate. He will make you pay. We have already seen that in the first inning of this game. Kyle Dewan, the unfortunate learner of that lesson. Big cut. 2-2. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes for Jurowitz. Number 1-2. Hit high in the air to left. Quest Newhall under it, and he makes the grab for the 3rd out. Norsemen have the beginnings of something, but can't plate any more runners. About a third of the way through, 0-0 the score remains. Back to the action here in Sanford. The 3rd inning about ready to get going. The 2nd time through the Patriots order ready to commence. Sam Economy flied out his first time up. The first out he's made across the 2 games today. Hits that high into left. Coming on and making the grab is Anthony Poole for his 2nd straight fly out to the same location. Regan Thomas has seemingly cracked the Sam Economy riddle that the 4 pitchers that the Nor'easters fielded in the last half of this doubleheader could not. That brings up Harrison Toon, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Takes ball 1. Later made it to 3rd on an Ike Keeley single and a Joe Strabley fielder's choice before being stranded there. 2-0. Toon out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. Went to Brookfield East High School. Line down the left field line. Can't be fielded cleanly by Kyle Dewan, excuse me. And just able to leg it out. Toon, an infield hit. Since he likely would have been out otherwise, I'm comfortable calling that an E5. Ike Keeley now had that single, was later picked off on the fielder's choice. Lined to 3rd on a 2nd, on to 1st, not in time for a double play. Keeley legs out a fielder's choice. But this time it's Toon. Thrown out by the shortstop, Jack Cody. 2 away. Joe Strabley himself reached on a fielder's choice. Was stranded at 2nd in the 1st when Regan Thomas got Sam Kolinsky to pop out. High pop-up on the infield. 2nd baseman Aiden Dipner has it for the 3rd out. Still no score here in Sanford. Bottom of the 3rd now. Some defensive changes from manager Tim Downing of the Patriots. Desmond Watkins into the lineup. He's now out in center. Sam Economy has moved to first, replacing Sam Kablinski, who has moved to short. Did not catch where Harrison Toon went, but we will see. That's hit high into left by Kevin Connolly. And Quest Newhall's under it for the first out. I'll bring up the 10th man in the lineup. Jack Cody, a sophomore at Hassan, out of Thornton Academy in Saco, hit 143 with Hassan as a freshman, majoring in criminal justice. Takes strike one. Fouled back. Aside from Ben Seguin, no runner has advanced past first base on Nick Griffin's watch. Ike Keeley's been a part of that too, as Cody cuts and misses for Nick Griffin's second K. Quick 2 up, 2 down for the top of the lineup, Kyle Dewin. He singled to lead this game off before Ike Keeley made quick work of his attempt to advance to second. Griffin starts him in the zone. Dewin's hitting .400 this season. Chopped to first. Economy with it, throws on to Griffin to get the out. 1, 2, 3 go, the Norsemen. We head to the 4th here at Goodall. 4th inning set to begin now, a game that's just flying by. Bit of baseball magic there. The pendulum swings from 45-minute half innings back toward 45-minute halves of games, which seems to be where we're heading, with Regan Thomas back on the mound to face Quest Newhall, along with Sam Kablinski and Noah Shaw, pending any potential lineup changes. Newhall cuts and misses at strike one. He reached first on a walk back in the first inning to load the bases, and loaded they would remain. Popped him up into right field, running on and making the grab on the edge of foul territory. Hayden Dipner with that play. Newhall down. Sam Kablinski in. He popped out to first base. His last time up. Thomas is cruising now. Both pitchers on both sides are. Since the first couple frames, there hasn't been a ton of sustained momentum in either direction. This could go either way. 1-1, the count on the St. Joseph sophomore. Foul back. And that sounded like it hit something. Surely nothing valuable. 1-2. Foul back, nearly the same spot. A little bit of a breeze picking up now. First real wind we've had blown in from left center. 2-2 from Thomas. Into right field, arcing foul just behind the bleachers. Kablinski fighting him off, making Thomas work for it. He's not had to do much since the first inning. All the Patriots have managed is an error and a fielder's choice. They have not managed to hit since. End of the bat, single down to first. Throwing on, and he legs that one out. A momentary bobble from Kevin Connolly was all Sam Kablinski needed to beat the pitcher to the mound or to the bag. Kablinski legs out an infield hit. That's the first hit that Thomas has allowed since the first. And that will bring up Noah Shaw, who struck out to start the second inning. He had Thomas beat by just half a step, did Kablinski. Lots of speedy base runners on both sides in this one, as Shaw had to be quick on his feet to dance out of the way of that first pitch. "1-0 from the Bonnie Eagle product. In the dirt, partially stopped by Coolidge, enough to make Kablinski a hold up at first. 2-0. Right down the middle. Laid off, 3-1 to the man from Lyman. Didn't have to drive too far to get here. And that's ball 4. Kablinski down to second. Shaw's aboard with 1 away. Braden Watson also struck out his last time up. And skipper Matt Rogers, catcher Liam Coolidge out to talk with Thomas. Patriots manager Tim Downing going to take the opportunity to talk to his batter. In a 0-0 game. It's been a pitcher's duel thus far. Been some chances. Each team has had a runner on third exactly once, but neither of them have scored. Seguin in the second inning for the Norsemen. Harrison Toone in the first inning for the Patriots. Both were stranded there. Thomas ready to face off against Watson. Fouled off the inside of his foot. Strike 1. Watson out of the City College of New York after 4 years at Chevrolet, culminating a season ago. "1-1. Up the middle. Coming on, fielding, throwing to second. The shortstop, Cody, for the second out. Kablinski down to third, and Watson aboard on a fielder's choice. So 2 away for the bottom of the Patriots lineup. Dante Tocci grounded out to third on a great play by Kyle Dewan to end the second inning. Starts off with the ball. Kablinski at third, Watson at first. Will the Patriots strike first here, or will Thomas weasel his way out of another jam? 1-0. Big cut. From the 5'9" lefty. Just low. 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Familiar situation. David Jurowitz couldn't do anything with it. Dante Tochi. Runner goes. Low for ball 3. Into second safely is Braden Watson. Keeley couldn't field it cleanly. He will not throw. Excuse me, that's Liam Coolidge on the Norseman side who couldn't field it cleanly. Second and third, 2 out. Payoff pitch. Line to short. Fielded on 1 hop over to first to get him and retire the side. For the second time, Regan Thomas looks like he's about to allow the Patriots to score first, but stops him right in the nick of time. We're halfway home, no runs here in Sanford. Bottom of the 4th, ready to get going. Nick Griffin back on the mound. To face off against the heart of the Norsemen lineup, starting with Anthony Poole, who hits that into center field. Going back and making the catch is Desmond Watkins for the first out. Riley Hassan now will bat. He grounded out to second his first time up. Griffin so far, 3 1/3 innings, just 2 hits, 2 Ks, 1 walk. He has been efficient, and the Norsemen have not been able to solve him yet. Ben Seguin got on a walk and advanced to third on a couple steals, but aside from him, nobody has made it past first base for the Norsemen. Riley Hassan trying to change that. 2-0. Down the left field line, foul. Into the briar patch behind the batting cage. Some bullpen activity for the Norsemen. I believe that's Alex Smith warming up, but we will see when they come in. 2-1. Into left field, down for a base hit. Riley Hassan gets the better of Griffin the second time the two meet. Now we'll bring up Chris Cimino, who popped out to third on a wonderful running catch by Noah Shaw in foul territory. Cimino out of Bates made the NESCAC All-Academic team this past season. This is no small feat in a conference featuring teams like Bowdoin, Wesleyan, MIT, and of course, Bates. Three 3-0. In for a strike. It's the first 3-0 count Griffin is seeing. And now he's worked the count full. Chris Cimino with a man on, 1 out. 0-0 game. Runner goes. And Keeley had his arm cocked and ready to fire, but decided not to. Hassan gets second for free. Of course, he would have gotten it regardless, because that was ball 4. Cimino on for Griffin's second walk. The first one he issued was to Ben Seguin as manager Tim Downing comes out, and we might be getting a pitching change here. With one out in the bottom of the fourth, Nick Griffin has been throwing the ball pretty well. Just the second time he's had multiple base runners at the same time. Ben Seguin coming up. Lengthy discussion, and he will remain in the game. Seguin drew a walk in the second inning. Got to third on a Hayden Dipner single, but was ultimately stranded there. .57 right-hander from Scarborough. Fouls the first one back. Hassan at second. Cimino at first. Thornton Academy graduates 0-1, just high. Griffin made just one appearance in his college career against Rhode Island College. He pitched 2 innings, struck out 2 men. That's just in the strike zone. One, two. Just outside. Seguin fouls one off. Another save the day moment from that piece of netting. That speaker right there would have been destroyed. 2-2. Towards short. On a second for one. On to first. In time to turn 2. Once again, a team gets multiple base runners. Could be the beginnings of a rally. Nope. Immediately snuffed out. 4 innings gone. No runs home. Stay tuned. Regan Thomas back on the mound for the top of the 5th. But the defense around him has changed a bit. Half of the battery is now different, with David York in for Liam Coolidge. Also, Davis Kibler subbed in at second base for Hayden Dipner. The Patriots beginning their 3rd trip through the lineup. Sam Economy has flied out to center twice. Hit that out to left. Seguin coming in, and that is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts for Sam Economy. Used all the juice in his bat in the first half of the doubleheader, perhaps. He has been flummoxed by Regan Thomas thus far. Someone who hasn't been is Harrison Toone. Or rather, this is Desmond Watkins batting in Harrison Toone's stead. Toone had been hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Watkins has not batted in this game yet, but was a part of the last game. In that one, he had 2 walks, a single, and a sac fly. So he was as productive as the rest of his lineup, which is to say very. 1-1 from Thomas in his 5th inning of work. Fouled toward the dugout. Outside take from Watkins. 1 away in the top of the 5th. Foul tip into the mitt for strike 3. Regan Thomas's 3rd K. to bring up Keeley, who has singled and reached on a fielder's choice. Thomas looking for his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Starts Keeley off outside. Rather, he didn't have a 1-2-3 last time out, but escaped that jam. This 1-2-3 inning would be his second. 2-0. Keeley lays off 3 straight. Thomas delivers a strike low in the zone. Keeley's Babson squad made it to the NEWMAC Championship and lost to Wheaton this season. Keeley went hitless in that one. That's into center field, down for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Ike. He is 2 of the 3 hits that Regan Thomas has allowed. Sam Kablinski with the other, all singles. As out comes Norsemen manager Matt Rogers to talk things over. And he's going to make a pitching change. A hug and a goodbye, as it will be Alex Smith coming into the game. He will go to work against Joe Strabley when we come back. 2 down in the top of the 5th. Regan Thomas is done after 4 2/3 of excellent ball. 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no runs. But he is subbed out in favor of Alex Smith, senior at Husson, who starts Strabley off low. Smith from Northborough, Massachusetts. Went to Acton Boxborough Regional High School. Junior year at Husson, he made 4 starts, 15 appearances total. Managed a 3.18 ERA. 6-foot right-hander. He's also a psychology major. Facing off against Joe Strabley, who's reached on a fielder's choice and popped out. Lined right at the second baseman, Tochi, for the 3rd out. Excuse me, that was the second baseman, Davis Kibler, subbed in this inning. To retire the side, to the bottom of the 5th we head. Nick Griffin back out in the bottom of the 5th. No runs on either side. A pitcher's duel through and through. About as far off kilter as a game as we could possibly have asked for, considering the opening half of this doubleheader. A game that the Patriots, in case you haven't been tuned in, won 16-5 and mercied the top-seeded Nor'easters out of the game. That's a running grab by Braden Watson to sit David York down. York batting in Liam Coolidge's spot at catcher. Hayden Dipner now with 1 away has singled, just his 2nd time up. So far, the Norsemen and Patriots have combined for the same number of hits, 3. The Patriots have had more base runners overall. They've had hit by pitch, a couple walks, an error, and a few fielders' choices. Dipner chopped down the line to second. Over to first for a quick 2nd out. Tochi made that play. Griffin looking for a gold split in the 1-2-3 inning business. Standing between him and another bout of rest is David Jurowitz, who looks at ball 1. Jurowitz flew out to left his 2nd time up, or 1st time up rather. This is his 2nd time up, to leave 2 men on. Line to economy at first. Running on to tag, and once again, a 1-2-3 inning. Nick Griffin has pitched some masterful ball here. And through 5 innings, no score in Sanford. Alex Smith back out after recording the 3rd out in the top of the 5th, as the top of the 6th is ready to get going. Quest Newhall, Sam Kablinski, and Noah Shaw due up. Newhall has walked and popped out to second. Smith starts him out inside. Man on the mound, Alex Smith, a academic all-district selection at Husson. Two-0 from the right-hander in the zone with the curveball. Three and one. Quest Newhall already has walked. Down the right field line, foul. Bouncing into the woods. Neither team able to get an edge here. Both of these teams have ties in their records, but this would be the first tie that I've had the privilege of seeing. Newhall aboard with a second walk. Sam Kablinski has singled and popped out to third. One of 2 men to reach third base for the Patriots. And fouled back into the dirt. The bat goes flying, nearly takes one of his teammates' head off. Joe Strabley had to duck out of the way of that one. But seems to be in working order. The at-bat will continue. That's the most dangerous a Patriots bat has been all game. In stark contrast to, once again, their performance this morning. 0-2. Over to first, where Newhall stands. He's got wheels. Oh, 2. Just outside. Kablinski with great plate discipline. The Ellsworth native. 1-2. Just low. Smith trying to put him away. With none out in the top of the 6th. Towards short and through the glove of the diving Jack Cody. And for the first time today, well, not exactly for the first time today. There's not consecutive hits. Newhall got on board via a walk, but still, perhaps the beginnings of something. First hit surrendered by Alex Smith. Noah Shaw has walked and struck out. Fouled back to the backstop. 2 men on and none out. Regan Thomas did not have any trouble in navigating his way out of a jam, but even he did not face one as dicey as this one. Smith in the dirt, 1-1. The Patriots will take a win any way they can get one in their race to take down and dethrone the Nor'easters from first place in the league. Good take by Shaw, 2-1. Six-foot righty deals. Slap towards second. On to shortstop for one. On to first. In time for the double play. That is one way to neutralize a jam. Newhall down to third, but Kablinski and Shaw both retired on the double play. And now Braden Watson has a man on third with two away. He has struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. Smith just grazes the strike zone. The Patriots 90 feet away from breaking this scoreless tie. Can the Norsemen wiggle their way out of yet another jam? A team not known for their pitching when Lucas Francis does not take the mound, as he did not today. In for strike two. But Regan Thomas and Alex Smith have pitched well, pending the results of this plate appearance. Swing and a miss, strike three. Braden Watson furious at himself as he lets another chance for the Patriots to break this scoreless tie slip through. Alex Smith gets his team out of it. And the bottom of the sixth coming up, still 0-0. Connolly Cody and Kyle Dewin due up in the bottom of the sixth. The Norsemen with just two more chances to put a number up on the scoreboard. A number that isn't zero anyway. Connolly has flied out to left. Showing bunt. Foul. Can't try that again. Oh, 2. Low. Connolly trying to get aboard for the first time. Takes another one outside. Nick Griffin, in his sixth inning of work, the way this game has been flowing, he might be on track for a complete game, rather. Off the pad of the catcher Keeley to bring the count full. Don't see many complete games even in this 7-inning format in the GNCBL. That's rocketed foul down the right field line. It's the moments of excitement, you know. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Connolly aboard. And a leadoff walk. To bring up Jack Cody, who struck out swinging his first time up. As a mound conference will commence, we may see a pitching change here. After 5 1/3 innings, indeed we will. Nick Griffin done after a masterful outing. We will see who Tim Downing chooses to replace him when we come back. Nick Griffin 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, no runs allowed. Still in line for a no decision, though, because his team has failed to score him a single run, a plight that Regan Thomas on the Norsemen side can sympathize with. The man in to replace him, Dylan Sellinger, sophomore from SMCC and Auburn native. Went to Poland High School. Normally a hitter. Hit .374, batted in 30 runs with the Seawolves as a freshman. Taking the mound today in relief to face Jack Cody, excuse me. Foul back, 1-1. Norsemen with none out and a man on. Got jammed down the left field line. Throwing over and way over the head of Sam Economy. That throw from the third baseman coming around and scoring to put the Norsemen ahead, finally breaking a scoreless tie. Scoring all the way from first on that was Kevin Connolly. Jack Cody into second on the throwing error from the third baseman Noah Shaw. And the Norsemen take a 1-0 lead. It's the first time I've had to change the scoreboard all day, or at least all game. Back to the top of the order, Kyle Dewin chops that to second. Diving stop, but had to throw off the bag. Could not make the play, Dante Tochi. And all of a sudden, the Norsemen in business. Jack Cody down to third, Kyle Dewin aboard. 2 straight hits against Dylan Sellinger, who comes in and immediately lets the run score. Of course, that run did belong to Nick Griffin as he hits Anthony Poole, lets him get aboard. That will load up the bases. So Griffin in line for the loss now. Bases loaded and none out. Riley Hassan strolls to the plate. Just about the last person you want to see. They call it the cleanup spot for a reason. And there are few in this league better suited to that spot in the lineup than the Johnson and Wales senior. He can break this game open. Looks at strike one. The Patriots were so dominant in the first half of this doubleheader, have yet to score a single run, and now possibly watching this game slip away as Hassan hits that into left center. Catch on the run from the center fielder Watkins, but tagging up and scoring to make it a 2-run game is Cody. The other runners will stay put on the Riley Hassan sac fly. Chris Cimino now has walked and popped out to third. Looks at ball one. Kyle Dewin at second. Anthony Poole at first. With one away. 2 runs already in. The Norsemen striking first. Big cut. Runners go. Fouled back. Cimino tapping himself in the helmeted forehead with his bat at a momentary brain fart. Back to first and second go the Norsemen base runners. 1-2 count. Sellinger. Outside. Doohan is on second base. He was picked off at that very base by Keeley in the first inning. Certainly wary of his arm now. Both runners go, and again, fouled back nearly to the exact same location by Chris Cimino. 2-2. Dream scenario here for Dylan Sellinger, a inning-ending double play. Steps off. Chopped on the ground, a second. On a short for one. Will not be able to turn two. Kyle Doohan down to third. Cimino reaching on the fielder's choice. And now runners on the corners with 2 out for Ben Seguin, who has walked and grounded out to second. Sellinger trying to escape with no further damage. Starts Seguin off high. Seguin from Scarborough. Made a similar commute to the one I made this morning. Runner goes. Keeley throwing down to second, and he's caught in a pickle now. Great stop from the second baseman, Tochi, but it allows Kyle Doohan to reach home. Keeley forgot about the first and third rule. You always let the base runner have it. Cimino gets into second on the steal. And Doohan reaches home. It's the second time someone has fallen for that today, as now stealing third successfully is Cimino. Keeley failing to stop that. Man on third, 2 down, 3 runs in for the Norsemen. 3-0 to Seguin. That's a 4-pitch walk. So pretty much the same situation as before. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Just one more run on the scoreboard now. David York will bat. He flew out to right field last time up. Sellinger starts him off high again. One-0. In the zone. Keeley with the stop. The Norsemen finally drawing blood against the Patriots. All it took was the lights-out Nick Griffin being subbed out. He has 1 run and the loss charged to him. That's hit into center field, going back on it Watkins. Under it to make the grab for the third out. But the Patriots now behind 3-0. We'll see if they can get their bats back to life in the top of the 7th. 3 outs between them and a 1-1 doubleheader. Top of the 7th now. Alex Smith back on for his second full inning. He will assume closing duties against Dante Tochi, Sam Economy, and Desmond Watkins. Batters 9, 1, and 2. Can the Patriots find some life and bring back some of what they had going in the first half of the doubleheader? Or will the Norsemen grab a win in Sanford? Anything could happen, really, between those two outcomes. We could even have a tie. Showing bunt is Tochi. Fielded cleanly by Smith on to first. One away. To the top of the order. And the man that has pretty much symbolized the gulf between these two performances by the Patriots. Sam McConomy in the first game went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, a single, a walk, and a hit by a pitch. Scored 4 runs all by himself and batted in 3 more. In this game, he is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts, 2 to center, 1 to left. And make that 0 for 4 with 4 flyouts. Anthony Poole under that. Just not Economy's last couple hours. And a quick 2 outs mean the fate of the Patriots rests on the shoulders of Desmond Watkins, who struck out swinging his last time up. With Ike Keeley on deck, he's 2 for 2. Watkins trying to extend the inning to him. Smith starts him off with a strike. Oh, 2. Smith not holding back. Strike 3. He just blew him away for the 3rd out, and that'll do it. The Patriots go from scoring 16 runs in the first game to a solid donut in game 2. The Norsemen take a 3-0 win. They move to 4-6-1. The Patriots fall to 5-5-2 in these tightly contested GNCBL standings. Well, I've been Charlie Fellows. I hope you enjoyed following this doubleheader. If you want some more action, I'll be off for the next week. I'm going on vacation. I'll be back for the GNCBL All-Star Game on Saturday. I cannot wait for that. That'll be at Old Orchard Beach at 5 o'clock. To any GNCBL fans, you should be there. If you can't be there, you'll be able to listen to me call it after the fact. Until then, though, take care.